Hello beauties, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. If you are new here, then my name is Mariah, also known as Live Life's Beauty, and I'm so glad that you have found me. And if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you so much for subscribing and watching another video. We have just hit 700 subscribers, and I'm so thankful for all of you that have clicked that subscribe button. So before we get into the video, I do want to apologize for my background. It's going to be looking chaotic for the foreseeable future. I'm supposed to be having works done on my house, and they have cancelled on me twice now, and each time I've had to take everything out and put everything back, and now the date that they have set is for 3 weeks away. So I'm still on the fence about packing everything back or just leaving it, because once we have finished all the work, we are then getting into major decorating. So with that being said, we will not be having any aesthetically pleasing backgrounds or workspaces for a while on this channel. So in today's video, we are testing out TransOurDream. Watching my vlogs, then you will know that I have recently got an eco tank printer, and I have recently set up a business. Now I say set up a business because it has not been going well, but I have been documenting it for you guys, so if you want to find out that story, you can watch the videos. However, part of what I want to start selling is t-shirts, so any personalized items like tote bags and t-shirts, and I've been watching a lot of YouTubers, and they say that as long as you have an inkjet printer, if you use that TransOurDream paper, then you can make t-shirts and you can make printed designed t-shirts. Wow, that was a mouthful. Now, because my printer only prints A4 size, I don't believe it prints the A3 pieces of paper. I can only get a design to a certain size. So we are going to be doing that in today's video, guys. We're going to be testing out if it really is as simple as printing and pressing. So without further ado, let's get onto the video. So I've sped up this part for you because this is just the design process. So for this design, we are making t-shirts. Let's just put that out there. We are making t-shirts. So this was a design that my family wanted to use because these are going to be for my children, because surprise guys, we are going away, and this is going to be the reveal to my kids that they are going away. So for this design, I had to first open up Canva and turn the picture into an SVG file. So I removed the background of the picture, and then I brought it into Cricut Design Studio, where I then made an offset. I then made the offset as thin as I liked. I do test it out and I do show you how that works out, and then once it is the size that I like, I then flatten the image with the offset. So I first attach it and then I flatten it so that it becomes one layer. I then do that for the lips, because I do also cut out the lips, but I don't believe I show you that in the video, so I'm really sorry guys. And then I find the font that I want. Okay, so this is the design that we've made. I have flattened all the images to turn into a print and cut selection. So I've made 3 sizes, and I'll show you in a minute why I've done that. Before I do anything, I'm going to print this on paper. I need to find some paper because I do not have paper in my house. So these are the t-shirts. I am using plain white cotton t-shirts, and then the smaller size ones are 100% polyester t-shirts. So one thing that I always forget to do is measure the design. I always just think that the size that it is on the screen is the size that it's going to be once it's printed out, and that is not true. So here I'm measuring to see how big I would need it if I wanted to have it as a patch on the corner, and how big I would need it if I wanted it to be in the center of the t-shirt. So that is why I made 3 sizes, but in the end I only end up using 1 size, because the biggest size t-shirt here is a 2XL. So I ended up printing it as big as I could, and then I will use that for the middle of the kids t-shirts. So here I'm just showing you that I've made the 3 sizes and now I'm printing it out. So on the Cricut, this has to be a print and cut, and like I said before, I am using paper because I'm testing it out on paper. I am not using the good stuff to test it out. So if I make any mistakes, I have not wasted the material, I have literally just wasted paper. I just have to keep saying that because I'm using paper. So as you can see, it prints out nice and fast, and then once I stick it onto my Cricut mat, it's stuck down very easily. Obviously this is paper and I'm making sure that I've put it onto the paper setting, and this is how small it would be. And one thing that I had to do as well was that I wanted to see how many of one would fit on a piece of paper. So with that, if it was the real thing, 2 would fit on the paper. And because obviously it's a different material, you do kind of want to put as much on one paper as you can. You wouldn't really want to have just that on the actual thing. So, it's just playing around. And then obviously I'm just showing you that the Cricut was able to read my registration lines really easily, and it was also able to read it on the actual TransOurDream paper as well. So it all went without a hitch. So this is what it looked like on the tester, and this was the smallest one, and I decided that I didn't need the family and the tripping section to be cut out. I only wanted the F and the bottom section to be cut out, but in hindsight, obviously because I made it bigger, I should have cut out that section, and if I was to make this again in the future, I will cut out that section. But for the first one, I just thought, oh, it looks okay, like I don't need to do that, when really I think it would have looked better cut out. But because it is just going on top of white, it's not really noticeable. It's literally just white on top of white, so it wasn't that bad. But say when I put it on the black t-shirts, which I have done testers on black ones, I noticed that it was a bit too much white and I should have cut it out. So that's just something to think about if you want to test out this or do it yourself in the future. So here I've just laid down all the sizes on all of the t-shirts, and I'm just showing you the different size variations between having it as a patch or having it as a full design. And then I'm showing you what it looks like on the black. Now with the black, I tried to do a black background, but you can see that obviously that didn't show up. You kind of need a white underneath it, and then here it is with the white, so that it does pop, but it would have looked a bit better if I'd have just cut out the middle. Now I don't know where my footage is and why it's just skipped to that, but this is the TransOurDream paper, guys. So this is where we done the real deal. It did cut very easily. It was a bit thicker than the paper, and my Cricut mats are not very sticky, so I did have to tape it down using masking tape, but it all cut fine. This was the problem that I had though, weeding this design. Now you don't really weed it, you just peel the backing from the card. So when you peel it off, it's actually very like malleable and floppy, but whilst it's on the card it feels like actual paper. So I had to get my weeding tool, and I was just trying to get the corners so bad. I didn't know if you were supposed to kind of score it and peel it off, or if you were supposed to actually cut it and then peel it off. I had better success just cutting it like this rather than scoring it as if it was vinyl and kind of peeling it off. But each to their own. So when I did find a corner, I just kind of lifted that up very slowly and peeled the design away from the paper also very slowly. They say to do that because you don't want to stretch it out, because this is I don't even know what material this is, to be honest, but if it can stretch, and then obviously that can what's the word, like deform the picture. I don't know, guys, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so you don't want to stretch it in any way, shape or form. You just want to peel it nice and slowly without stretching it. And then once that is done, again, guys, because my house is chaotic, I am doing this all on my floor, which I don't advise. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And obviously this is just for me. It's not like I'm making clients t-shirts. Also, nothing wrong with the floor. If you need it, you need it. So yeah, I try to do it nice and aesthetic, and then it just doesn't. I'm running out of time. I've been filming too long, so I literally press it. So I will talk you through now. I do pre-press the t-shirt just for 5 seconds, and then I put this on where I want it. I cover it up with some, I think it's parchment paper, because you do get 2 sheets in the pack, which I was not doing a very good job this day of showing you. And then I pressed it. So on this t-shirt, this was the cotton t-shirt, and I pressed it for 160 seconds, I believe, on 180 heat. I'm not too sure, but you do get instructions that tells you, and I think I do talk about it in the end, but it was entirely too long. I'm pretty sure that if I'd have left it on longer, it would have discolored the t-shirt, because when I was looking in the light, it kind of looked like the t-shirt was like a bit brown, like, you know, when you iron something and you've left the iron on, and I was like, have I just messed up this? But no, it was fine, but definitely way too long. Now the polyester t-shirt, which is for the kids, they are thicker than this, so they could have took that long time, but I just don't think it was necessary. And this, as you can see, was the biggest that my Cricut was able to do a print and cut. And on the 2X size t-shirt, it's a great patch size. It's actually very big, nice, vibrant patch. And on the kids t-shirt, which is 7 to 8 years old and 9 to 10 years old, it is a good big middle print. So that is it, guys, for me talking, and you can see my final thoughts about everything at the end. So guys, this is the finished project. Now what I will say is this is made for dark materials, but I have used it on light materials. One thing I will say is that I feel like it would have blended a little bit better if it had have been for the light materials, because that is what I have seen on other people's videos. However, I was planning on using it on dark materials as well as light materials. Now I don't have the other two to show you on the dark materials. I'm so sorry, guys, because time was ticking away and I actually had to send them off. But we do have this one to look at, and I think that turned out very, very nice. The colours are so bright and vibrant. I have not washed this yet, and I do not plan to wash it, because if this goes awry, then I am not going to make another one. And then on the back, though, for this name part on the back, I did use my Cricut infusible ink paper, and then I did use the TransOurDream to make this little kiss at the back. So that is the back of the t-shirt, and that is the front of the t-shirt, and I think that came out so great, guys. So if you have been thinking to make projects with the TransOurDream, then I would definitely say it literally is as simple as print and press. What I will say, which I didn't know if I mentioned in the video, was that I did 3 of these t-shirts, and when I did the first t-shirt, it was on a thinner cotton, and I done the time that it, and I done the heat and the time that it said. So I did it at 150 for, I think it ended up being 120 seconds or something like that, and I just think that was entirely too long. It didn't need that much of a press. I think 60 to 90 seconds was absolutely fine, because it stayed on and I didn't have an issue. These t-shirts are 100% polyester, and the other t-shirt, the larger size t-shirt, was cotton. This was the biggest I could get the image to print and cut using my Cricut machine and my printer. So, you know, it was absolutely fine for a kids t-shirt. This is the size 7 to 8. The biggest one that I've done so far is 9 to 10, and it still is quite a big, you know, bold image on the t-shirt. So that was fine. I've yet to wash this, but I am confident in its ability to last. This is just a kind of gimmicky t-shirt, one-off wear, so it's not going to be, you know, something that somebody's going to treasure and keep forever and ever. But, you know, I do think for as affordable as it was, it is a really good start. I will say that for actual black material, like a design like this, it would still have the white outline, because you kind of need the white to bring up every color. It's kind of like a drawing. So it's kind of like drawing on a piece of paper. Like if you draw on black paper, black is not going to show up. Every other color may show up, whereas if you draw on white, then obviously every single color is going to show up bright and vivid. And I think that is literally the same with this. If you're printing it on any other color except white, I just think that you're going to get a nicer, crisper, brighter look. Or like when I printed it on the black, I did put down the white base and it did pop a lot. A lot of people were like, oh, it's still very vibrant on the black, because it had the white as the base. So I will be making a lot more projects using this, because my next plan is to make some tote bags, and I have a lot of tote bags to get practicing on. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out, because the tote bags are not white, they're more of a creamy color. So I'm going to see if I can print this, if I can get the match to the creamy color, but we'll see, and we'll test it out together, guys. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to live life's beauty, because life is beautiful and it's out there waiting to be lived by you, and hopefully I will see you in another video. Bye.